Greetings. It is the 3rd of July, Friday, day before the 4th. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I really hope that all of you will not lose your minds and remember that we're in a pandemic and stay safe this weekend, because I've already seen it. We have just a lot of idiots. A lot of people who are just not paying attention to facts and just are out acting like nothing is going on and spreading sickness. So please be careful. Oh, I just see that my number is clicked up to 22,000. I always like to mark those, mark that, It's cool. For some reason, the overall numbers generally of my video views has gone up slightly over the last year. It's usually about 12 to 1,400 people within 24 hours watch the videos. Obviously, some videos get more attention than others, but that daily average has continued to click up. I'm glad to connect with all of you good people. I just received a really nice letter this morning, and I'm going to acknowledge that. I won't say the name, but it was really well written, and it's very believable. I get all kinds of stuff, and a lot of it, it's like I don't answer it. This one I did. Thank you. So, lots to talk about. I don't know what exactly I'll get to, but it's around music, but also around life, okay? I had a good performance last night at Essential Fest. Did any of you watch it? I hope I get to see it. I dare say, I think I pulled it off maybe even a little bit smoother than at Bemis. It's the same thing. Me playing my music and vibing it, like an MC or a DJ or whatever. And I really enjoyed it. And hope to see it. So while I was out, when I had to go down and set up and do a sound check, I went ahead and said, well, I'm out, so I'm going to go run down to the record store. The record store. Some of y'all know what I mean when I say record store. So I ran down to Homer's to see if there was anything there. Well, I already knew that if there was nothing else there to get, I knew that there was something that I had been eyeing, and I said, okay, yeah, I'll get this. And they didn't have much else. I got 2 other records. But the one that I had been eyeing, and I went ahead and got it, was The Rainbow Children, the reissue by Prince. When this came out originally, and it was in the whole Jehovah's Witness thing, that just put me off from buying it. I like the album. The song The Work, Willing to Do the Work, killer. But I didn't buy it. But I had been eyeing this, and then it was posted online, so I got to see, and I said, oh yeah, I got to have that. Now, here's the other thing. I've never owned this album until now, so I never got to really peruse the cover very closely, but I always wondered, in first glance, where's Prince? I'd never noticed that hand there. I'd never noticed. There he is. Is that clever, or is that just badass? There he is. Almost hiding. This is a wonderful double album. It is chock full of his message. But the deal is, for me, if you remove the dogmatic bullshit, there's a lot of truth in it. But this idea of dogma, that you must do it my way, the way this person said, that's the right way. That's madness. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Come on. Well, don't come on, because everybody thinks that somebody does, but no one knows. Not a one of you, not a one of us fools. Comes with a nice full-size booklet. The vinyl is gorgeous. Clear vinyl. Double album. They really went to town on this. They did. Now, I didn't read the little notice on the cover, so there was a surprise in the middle that literally I wasn't expecting it. First, I'll show the gatefold. Prince. I've seen him live 3 times for sure, maybe 4. Tried to get backstage and got personally escorted out by his big personal bodyguards. But this was in the middle. Look at this beautiful slip mat. So, I mean, that's perfect. It's perfect thinking for when you're playing the Prince in the clear vinyl to pop the slip mat on, which I already did, and it's just gorgeous. I put some pictures on Facebook as well. I've always had high regard for Prince, and just really feel a kinship with him, being a Midwest black man, a multi-instrumentalist, and someone who early on tried to cross that damned racial bridge. So I just have immense love and respect for Prince. He is the only person that I went and slept out on the sidewalk to wait in line to get a good, decent ticket for the last time I saw him. That's the only person I've ever done that for. And while I was there in my sleeping bag, sleeping at 4 in the morning, I felt pretty foolish. I did. Am I glad I did it? Yeah, I am. So I got the Prince, and I got a couple more. I want to try to remember to talk. Yeah, because I got a couple more records in the mail. I got the Prince. I got this. I thought I found. Maybe I didn't. Okay, so it was just 2 from Homer's. I got another order in. So that's what. The other thing that they got in that wasn't all that exciting, but it was like, okay, this is my man. I'm getting it. Peter Gabriel. Rated PG. This is a compilation of tunes from movies. And I have most of these in their original form on the soundtracks of the singles. This came out last year as a picture disc, and I passed, because picture discs are just, it's not what I wanted. It's like you want to be able to play the record. So this is good. I always liked the song Party Man from Virtuosity. And then the new song, Every Bird, from the movie Birds Like Us. That's his newest song. So that was probably the way that they could say, well, we'll put them all together and there's a new song. So here's a new Peter Gabriel. That's a shit cover. It's clever, but it's shit. Still shit. PG, the canister, the popcorn. That's okay. So Peter Gabriel is known for having taste. I guess he can do that, and every now and then show a lapse of it. So I got another order in. So I'll go ahead and make an admission, because the COVID pandemic isn't going away, and this is the new normal, unfortunately. Lockdown. As you can see now, the news nationally is going crazy because the opening isn't working. We're not in control, and we just aren't handling that well at all as a species. So I went ahead and investigated Wayside music. Wayside music I've known about forever, but I have always hesitated. I've ordered from them before, but I just don't like to do a lot of mail ordering. But it got to a point that Laser's Edge, there wasn't anything that I really wanted in regards to really kind of getting some stuff that I've always wanted on vinyl now that it's reissued. So I went to Wayside to see what they have and picked up a couple things. Wayside is good. Shylock, Gialorgues. I finally got this. Now, I meant to grab the other because I have their second album. I've had this forever. So this is an original. Île De Fièvre, French progressive band, Shylock. Managed to snare this when it came out, or shortly after. But I always remember a friend of mine had this one as well, their first album. I just really like the cover. This is a better album. This is better. But I've always been wanting this ever since I first saw it back in the 70s. Finally, in 2020, I have my own copy. Now, this is kind of anticlimactic. The COVID is putting things into clear perspective. Also, my age, too. It's like, this is just an object, you know. It's really meaningless, you know. Now that I have it in my hands, and that's really what I did. When I got it pulled out of the package, I said, this is my copy, okay? And what is that worth? Really, ultimately, not that much. Just the moment of that moment. I already had the music. This is one of those where I burned it years ago. I burned it, so I've added the burn to the record, to it. But just the pleasure of, well, here's my copy. I get to open the gatefold. I get to peruse the graphics. Finally. So I appreciate that. But like I said, my perspective is trying to stay grounded, which is, this is just stuff, and it's meaningless. It's just a fleeting moment of distraction and pleasure. I enjoy it, but it's like, I'm not a materialist. This stuff, we get attached to it, but I'm not fooled by it. This isn't happiness. It's just something to do. It's something to do. The happiness that I'm feeling last night, I knew all the musicians, every band that played, I knew them all. Or basically, they all know me, and I know who they are. So that was joy, to be around a bunch of people. Even though there was social distancing, we did some elbow bumps. A couple people, my boy Blake said, man, it's all like, it's very hard not to touch you. And, you know, that could sound funny to people, but that's the love that I share with the people that I share. He don't care. I'm like a second dad to him, you know, and that's what he said. You're like a second father to me. It's all I can do to not just grab you and squeeze the life out of you. That's joy. And the regard from the other musicians that were playing, all of them. And then turned out that I basically knew who all the technical crew were too. They all know who I was. That's joy. That human connection, that's the real joy, okay? I'm not fooled by this stuff. That's why we're in such bad shape. We have all these greedy people who are completely have lost their mind on the stuff. You know, this whole reopening of the country. Everyone's worried about the system. Let the system fail. It won't fail. Refocus on making sure that we survive this life-wise, and we can pick up the pieces. To the material-minded folks who are focused on systems and money, that probably they just can't fathom how that could possibly work, but it could. Okay, I was real happy to get this now on vinyl. Patrick Gauthier, Bebe Godzilla. Originally from Magma, and he was also in Helden. Bad Mother. Keyboardist. He's a friend of mine. finally got this, and when I ordered it, I didn't realize it was a reissue on Soufflé Contenu, which this label has been doing outstanding reissue work, particularly of the Futura label. But this is a badass album, and he does a version. It's his track on the Held in Standby album, which I think is one of their best albums. But it's his tune on that album that's the standout that starts it. So there's a version on here with a different arrangement. Very good. But that's not even the best song. This has a song, the last song on side 1 is killer. It's killer. Once again, this is one that I had burned up because I like it so much. That's really been kind of the focus of the Laser's Edge ordering, is like, oh, I can get some of these records I've always wanted. So that's been my focus mainly. This is beautiful though. Beautiful blue vinyl. Deep blue. You could put it in the light. Okay. But let me talk about this because I've never met Patrick, but we're friends. I shared that when I tried to first befriend him on Facebook. He gets a hold of me and says, "I'm a fan of yours." Well, it blew my mind. He's an accomplished keyboardist. I can just use the keyboard to write. I can't play like this man. He gave me I've still got the video. He played a personal concert for me. Sent it to me in Messenger. Blows me away. Anyway, I posted this on my Facebook page. And I tagged Patrick, let him know I got your album, And then it tied in with another post that I made that I want to talk about. I'm going to do it now on Facebook because I'm taking on this whole issue of we need real systemic change regarding racism. And it's not happening. I mean, it is and it's not. There's a lot of little things that people don't realize. And I brought one up yesterday, and it's still getting traction today. I posted, before I posted this, I was annoyed because on the way back from the post office that I had to go yesterday, what do I hear again? I hardly hear the radio. But anytime I hear the radio in Omaha, every day I hear the radio, I hear the song by Leonard Skinner, Sweet Home Alabama. Now that offends me. I'm going to tell you why now, because I got the blowback that I, of course, expected to hear on the internet. Well, you don't like Skinner? That's got a good tune. It's what's said in the song, okay? It's what's said in the song. It's racist. I'll explain and I'm going to, if I have to, I'm going to explain it online because I didn't yesterday. I was so pissed. So I shouldn't have to explain. It's right there in the words, okay? A reference to George Wallace, but it's the reference to Neil Young is the one. And white folks don't get it because they're not black. Okay? That's the line that offends me. I hope Neil Young will remember a Southern man don't need him around anyhow. Well, that translates to me that they're calling Neil Young a nigger lover. Okay? That ain't cool. Okay? That's what that song, every time I hear it. And to me, it is purpose, on purpose. It's a subtle form of systemic racism. That song came out way back when. It wasn't that big of a hit. I live in Nebraska. I hardly hear any black music on this big Clear Channel station that's supposed to be the big hits of all time station. That's why I'm pointing this out. Every day that I hit that station, I hear that song. That is a message. I hear it loud and clear. Stay down, niggas. Stay down, niggers. That's what it is. We're the dominant. We dominate. We dominate you. That's the message. Go and read it on Facebook. I had people starting to kick back. I said, fuck it. No. Listen to me. Stop making excuses. Listen to the black man. Listen to people of color. We're sick of this shit. And the other thing that needs to change, this is the thing that needs to change. It's a white narrative. It's a white colonized narrative that we're dealing with worldwide. And it's not a white world. It's a multicolored world. It's really rather chocolate. That needs to be reflected in the mainstream. It's overdue. And it's not coming anytime soon, but that's what I'm kicking for. Okay? All that came about. The connection is that when I posted this, I said, it's a shame I can't hear excellent music like this on the radio anywhere. And then Patrick saw it, and then he posted it, and he says, maybe the songs are too long? I said, these songs aren't long enough, Patrick. He says, no, I mean for the radio. And I just cracked up and I said, yeah, man. Damn radio should play your shit anyway. Patrick's my friend. That just blows my mind away. Patrick Gauthier. So I added that to my collection. Oh, this is it. Yeah, I knew it. This is the other one. Okay, see? This is the other one. I found a used album at Homer's. And I got a decent price because it was all split at the bottom. If you see this one, you'll know what I'm talking about. You probably own this already. I have another one of his albums, but I finally got this one. The Leon Thomas album. This is amazing. Oh my God. Am I overstating am I overstating it, Sec? Or anybody else that knows this amazing album? Amazing in terms of black consciousness, amazing in terms of musicality. He was very unique. He had a very wide-ranging vocal style. He could do this yodeling like no one else. The only other person I've heard do it like him, and I'm sure he got it from Leon Thomas, is Demetrio Stratos from the Italian band Area. This album is amazing, and I'd heard it before, but when I got it yesterday, I had to play it twice, even though I was busy getting ready for my show. I found the time to play this all the way through twice. This is amazing. It starts off with this song called Come Along, which could be almost like a Tennessee Ernie Ford or Jimmy Dean back in the day. Hey, everybody, let's feel good and come together. And it's got the kind of feel where it's like that. It's very populist. You know, it's come gather around everyone. But then it just gets better and better. And when they do Bag's Groove, the Milt Jackson tune, the jazz tune, the way he does Bag's Groove, oh man. This album is badass, just all the way through. And then the personnel, you know, everyone from Billy Cobham to Billy Harper to Jerome Richardson to Howard Johnson is on here. My God, you know. James Spaulding. Whoo! I was real happy to find this yesterday. Used at a decent price because it was split. I taped it because I'm not selling my records. I'm bequeathing them to my nephews and great nephews. I've already told them this collection belongs to y'all. I ain't selling this. Real happy to find that yesterday at Homer's. I got 2 more records in from Wayside. Real happy. Both of them are records that I've been wanting. Okay. And they're both good records. This one is cool. Italian, but it's not the typical Italian sound. Garybaldi, Nuda. Been wanting this album forever. It's more guitar oriented than a lot of Italian prog. It's got a cool cover that folds out 3 ways. See how it folds out? That's the front. But it's a 3-way. Look at this. Look at this mother. Look at how it folds out. Let me get this so you can see this. Nuda. This is way cool. And it's really up front. I don't speak the language, but the cartoons inside, you know, The last frame, brother's getting down. He's got his girl laid out. I don't speak the language, so I don't quite know the story, but they sound like a bunch of sex-crazed young men. Nuda! They're just screaming that on the first track. This is wild. This is very unique. I'm really glad I finally got it. They have another album called Astrolabio that I want. I've wanted originals of them forever, but they're costly. You know, they are. I don't want to pay those prices, but I got this, Garybaldi, Nuda. And the other one I got is another one that I've been wanting for a long time. Laurence Vanay. It's actually a woman, but she used this Laurence Vanay. The thinking was sexist at the time. They thought that, well, a woman that plays all the instruments, we can't sell that, so make it a man's name. This is really unique. I'm looking for the title. It has a title, but this is unique. It's not prog rock. This is a woman. This is a human being exploring music, their voice through music. So there's elements of jazz, pop, and all sorts of other things. And she's a good musician. This comes with an extra album of material which I haven't gotten to yet. I was real happy to get this. Another nice cover. Real happy to get those. So, I see I'm going a long time today, but I said to myself, I'll go ahead and do a long one for the 22,000 to commemorate. So thank you all. Thank you all for being with me. Thanks for sharing your thoughts with me. Continue to share them. You want to weigh in on Lynyrd Skynyrd? Please do, but I've spelled it out. Neil Young stood up for us in the song Southern Man. That meant a lot to me as a kid. I love Neil Young. I do have the record. Of course I have the record. Come on, just give me a minute here, guys, all right? When I heard this on the radio, Southern Man, and those words, boy, and his voice, because I liked his voice anyway, already. But the song, the sentiment, it's like, thank you, yeah, brother. So, with that history of, my history of Neil Young, I love Neil Young. With my history of that, when I heard that, the first time I heard that, years ago, a dagger in the heart, okay? It's like, you motherfuckers. And all this time, oh, so innocuous. And then people tried to bring up the fact that Neil Young said that he was cool with it. Well, it ain't about Neil Young, it's about me, bitches. You know, Neil Young can be cool with Lynyrd Skynyrd dissing him. He's not the black man. The diss was to us, y'all. Talk to me, people. And have a safe 4th of July. Wear a fucking mask.